against the web. The Pentagon has said that to then start shutting it down in the name of saving it. Use it now while we've got it so that the genie is completely out of the bottle. I'd say the genie's about 80% out of the bottle right now. We need that whole thing to come out. The whole genie needs to get out of there, and then let them try to put a cap on it.
Well, absolutely. And I mean, the way things are rolling out is I mean, in the very near future, cable television period, is most likely going to be delivered through your internet line.
Yeah, where's Al Gore going? Where's his conservative compatriot, his variant, his doppelganger, Glenn Beck to the internet? They know, but that's why they're going to try to restrict us and then only leave those. Caller, make a point, and then I'll let you go. Go ahead.
Basically, I'm just hoping that people find their potential and start rising up. It's our time, and we just have to do something. So that's where I'm at. And I totally hear you and respect that. What I'm saying is you're looking for some magic bullet, and I understand that. Like, we got to do something. We are doing something.
Yep.
I mean, the Federal Reserve is freaking out. Upwards of 90% now want to abolish it. No one knew what it was 10 years ago.
That's right.
They're talking about world government openly now. They can't hide it anymore. They're uncloaked. Hundreds of nations have fallen to tyranny in the last century alone. This is our last chance to not relive history.
As we're finishing off this agenda, they'll be pulling the rug from underneath Americans at home.
They have tremendous influence on our president and Congress, and they really are calling the shots.
I think it's incumbent upon all of us as American citizens to pay attention.
Fall of the Republic identifies the enemies of our nation, the criminal offshore cartel, hell-bent on destroying sovereignty, and on its ashes constructing world government.
Tim Geithner, Bernanke, they're arsonists. They're asking for more matches. And the Congress is saying, who do we make the check out to?
Today seems like nobody does care. And right now in Washington, D.C., we have seen a fall of the Republic.
Get your copy of Fall of the Republic on DVD at Infowars.com or watch it online right now in super high quality at prisonplanet.tv. Hi folks, this is Alex Jones, and I want to tell you about the Silver Lungs generator. Now you can produce pure and endless colloidal silver and deliver the solution directly into the bloodstream by breathing the solution through the lungs. The respiratory system is the first line of defense for airborne pathogens and viruses. The Silver Lungs generator infuses the respiratory system with your self-produced nano-silver solutions and also delivers the silver nanoparticles instantly into the bloodstream. With continued legislation threatening the sale of nano-silver products, you can now produce pure and endless colloidal silver with the Silver Lungs generator. Very easy to follow step-by-step instructions are provided, making production fast and simple. Go to www.silverlungs.com today and learn more about the breakthrough technology of the Silver Lungs generator. That's www.silverlungs.com. A very wealthy U.S. citizen is predicting that in 2011, we will witness the most important day in America in more than 50 years. He says it will change everything about our lives. The way you shop, travel, invest, educate your children, and even how you take care of your health and your own family. Now, this man has made some outrageous predictions over the years. The crazy part is, he's usually right. You see, he predicted the collapse of GM, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and America's biggest mall owner, General Growth Properties. In fact, Barron's called his work a dire prophecy. Recently, he created a video, which you can watch online for free, detailing his biggest and most important prediction yet. And it's a real eye-opener. I can't stress this enough. You should at least watch this free video online today. He explains everything you need to know, including simple steps you can take to protect yourself. You can find the video at www.endofamerica3.com. That's endofamerica3.com. Watch the free video at www.endofamerica3.com. That's endofamerica3.com.
From his Central Texas Command Center, deep behind enemy lines, the information war continues. It's Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
We're going to go to your phone calls, but Harold Uhl was bringing up the city-states, the exempt city-states that say they're sovereign. And regardless of what your view, they do. The District of Criminals, D.C., at least in the last 100 years or so, has operated as a private corporation, admiralty law exempt above the law. You've got the Vatican exempt above the law. You've got the City of London within London, the financial system. Israel has basically been set up to be a operational hub and to be a city-state that says it's exempt from the UN. The UN has been set up as kind of this global arbiter or an attempt to get countries to sign on to waive their rights to it, or as a conduit for IMF and World Bank for the City of London to come in and buy them off. So really, it's just a bunch of exempt, piratical organizations running around doing whatever they want. I mean, a lot of people serve one of those groups or the other, or don't serve it. I'm saying I want to be an individual. I don't want these big foreign offshore exempt cities in the sky to be, down here, telling me what to do. I mean, I'm saying I don't answer to you. I'm not your slave.
Yeah, the answer is not to take over these institutions. The answer is to liberate ourselves from them and either get rid of them or just get them to leave us alone and let us go live our own life.
Yes, and you were asking me how do we counter this? And I think instead of always looking at the puppets these systems buy and then fight with each other and the treaties they have and the deals they have, but these groups are fighting with each other always, and the whole Masonic philosophy over the whole thing at the same time, which is just ancient mystery religion, ancient government system, gang mentality, inner knowledge, upper party, inner party, outer party, proletariat. I mean, it's all the pyramid. You destroy the pyramid. And you say, all the knowledge, release it all, freedom now for everybody, no more games, and you basically expose the secrets. You expose the magician's tricks.
Yeah, I think that couldn't be more right on.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's kind of like we have...
Talk right in that mic. I'm sorry, it's directional. Go ahead.
We've always had divine right, or the idea of monarchs or kings or pharaoh rule. And like I said, in America, we didn't set it up that way. But that is this old, and the empire idea, this like national city-states, I mean, those aren't new ideas. And they've just been interjected into the new idea of America. And it comes over here. And yeah, we do have D.C., we do have inner city London. We do have the idea of these overlord that can't be a part of us. You're not. And you're separate.
You're a subject.
Essentially, yes. And so, yeah, it is exposing that, but it's also understanding that it is a tactic. Like going back to your idea of the whole false flag, that's happened throughout history, and not just our current empire, or America. But, when Gulf of Tonkin occurred, no one really even understood that. It was a tactic that was relatively brand new in the public opinion. And then 9/11, you saw the spike at 9/11 on that Gallup poll. Everything went up. Everything spiked right to the top because out of the crisis, you can create an order that at some point you'll rally. But it didn't rally long. It wasn't like that it was even a couple of years. So I think exposing the idea that the tactic of false flag even exists is a win for us.
No, I agree. Every time they've got to counter us, we win. Just responding to us, we're winning.
Yeah, the fact that what's amazing is for the first time, I mean, you watch these GOP debates. I have never heard, 4 years ago was the first time I heard anybody, at least in my lifetime, ever talk about the Federal Reserve. And that's, Ron Paul, who they were like, okay, we'll give him his token 2 minutes because he's got a couple followers. Now all of a sudden, you've got all of the establishment candidates, they have to address it, regardless of if they have any intention of doing anything about it whatsoever. They're being forced to address it, and that in and of itself shows a huge
First they ignore you, then they attack you, then you win.
Well, I just say, even like I've told Harold, I go, Rick Perry, the fact that he got popular on a tactic, it doesn't even matter that it's not that he believes it.
The fact that he had to act like Ron Paul to become the #1 candidate shows we're winning.
Exactly, because he's running on Ron Paul's message, but just saying, well, I'm the better package.
But when it became evident that he was the opposite of what he was saying, that made it even worse for him, and now he's on fire, plunging to earth.
That's absolutely right.
And now we can do that. We can watch Mitt Romney spontaneously combust, because if we just put out his record, it's over.
Yeah. Well, that's why they keep saying, the Tea Party, everybody hates the Tea Party. And they, after the congressional standoff, they just try and marginalize it. Oh, Ron Paul's this message keeps winning.
And what's sick is you get all these local talk show hosts who aren't getting talking points. They think they're smart just repeating it. And every caller's calling in getting mad, and you hear the host just like floundering now. Because it's but I love it.
It's the idea of the new language, you know, and you've been stuck in a jargon system with the paradigm. You have to use certain words, and saying things like false flag is a scary thing to even say for some people, because it's just new vocabulary that's been interjected into the media stream that is
exactly. It's not just. Yeah, I'm just not going to believe what I'm told immediately.
Well, that's why.
Okay, in 5 minutes they told us Bin Laden did it. Okay, now I'm going to go look at the facts and see if that adds up. No, it doesn't.
Well, that's why. I mean, the fact that the leading candidate had, you know, got ripped for calling Social Security a Ponzi scheme by the media, but it clearly fits every metric of a Ponzi scheme. That's why I don't understand why people want to say, well, what I believe means that it's true. Well, that's like the EPA. Regardless of whatever you believe it is or not. So you can either embrace it and we can get to doing something. Well, yeah. Or people can stick their head in the ground.
But that's like the EPA just saying, okay, this isotope, we'll say you can have 1,000 times higher, it's safe, from Fukushima. Right. And this one 25,000, this one 100,000. I mean, right there shows this delusional Orwellian thing where they could just say gravity doesn't exist tomorrow.
But hay's a pollutant.
Oh, yeah, now we've got to tax the farmers because their hay is a pollutant.
That's right. That's right. No, it's completed. It's the same thing with the FDA. It's like, okay, the FDA says it's okay, so that means they're bulletproof.
Yeah, now they can radiate. We always think if government's going to protect us. Right. No, they're saying they can radiate. They're saying we can have GMO. That's the incredible thing. When you go study the actual environmental movement, not the well-meaning folks on the ground who don't want to drink poison or whatever, it's always cold-blooded eugenics groups who want to divert you from all the real environmental issues that are going on, and they control the whole debate and make it about carbon dioxide.
Well, I mean, a lot of the not all environmentalists. I mean, I'm very much for clean air and clean water. I think most people are, but
really, it's a power grab.
But when you get up into some deep theology that goes into this thing, I mean, they start talking about this whole global taxing scheme. It's like there's people who are trying to corruptly hijack the system and make a whole ton of money and control the resources. But on the other side, no one talks about the impact on humanity. It's like if you go ahead and you cut off all the oil and make it $5 or $6 a barrel, these people go over and they're like, well, let's go ahead and inoculate. You know, they cry about the children dying in Africa because we can't give them a 50-cent inoculation. But, oh, by the way, I want you to all get sick and die because you burn cow dung to stay warm and not have less expensive oil because, well, we may be impacting the planet to get warmer. I'm just saying there's a cost to doing something and there's a cost to doing nothing. And
yeah, but the idea that carbon dioxide is the big pollutant, they just chose that as a way to tax everything. Well, it's cold-blooded from the beginning. They know full well is the point I'm trying. I mean, I bought the Avatar box set. Okay, I bought it yesterday, and I was reading through it this morning, and you open it up, and they're advertising the Activist Guide to Avatar. It's a book. So I went and looked at it online, and it's this fantasy world where you're attacking industry on Earth, fighting for the blue aliens back on Earth, and it just shows how the whole thing is about this false template of they know there's a revolution coming, so they want to make it about tattling on your neighbor for not having energy efficient windows instead of like worrying about all the serious issues that are going on. Let's jam a call in here. I've just got to do it or they're going to kill me. Steve in Florida, you're on the air. Welcome.
Yeah, good afternoon, Alex. Hey, I wanted to let you know, first of all, I don't know about the Twin Towers of the spontaneous combustion, but I can tell you something. In the political realm, there are Twin Towers that are experiencing spontaneous combusted, and that's Mitt Romney and Rick Perry, thanks to the coverage you've given that this morning. And so I appreciate that. But I wanted to tell you that about a month ago, I actually got to meet with a congressman from here in Florida named Bill Posey, and I was very encouraged by the meeting I had with him. I gave him a copy of your terror storm, and I specifically had told the staffer that I wanted to talk to him about the war on terror since 9/11 was coming up with the anniversary. And I asked him what his views were on that. Now, he's basically towing the party line, believing about Al-Qaeda and all that kind of stuff. So I brought up several points about, that Osama bin Laden wasn't listed as one of the, that was not listed as one of his crimes on the FBI's website, and about the 6 of the 10 commissioners on the 9/11 Commission wanting a new investigation because it was fraudulent. And his eyes just bugged out when I said this stuff. And I also mentioned GMO foods, but he took notes. And I was very encouraged that I was able to meet with him. And he actually was one of the first co-sponsors with Ron Paul of his Audit the Fed bill. And he said he meets with him for lunch once a week on Thursdays. So, and I encouraged him, please, that's the only candidate that we should support. If anybody else is supported, we're going to see 4 more years of the abomination. So